English meet, they will speak their native language. But there's a phenomenon around the world where, people feel the pressure to have to learn English to get employment, or there's just social pressure. Things are cooler if they're in English. American movies are just cooler. So I often say that I love English, the English language as a language, but I hate it as a tool of cultural imperialism. So when if an Esperantist were to denounce English or some other language that had that role, it wouldn't really be anything about the language itself. It would be about the upshot of one language representing one set of cultural values becoming sort of hegemonic.
Terry and Anissa met in the Netherlands in 1964 at an Esperanto Congress. Anissa, who's Slovenian, couldn't speak a word of English, and Terry couldn't speak a word of Slovenian. Esperanto was at first a common bond. Then it became the language of love.
Vi kan Lynn till ett knabot igen.
Yes.
Ska ni faras?
Yes.
Ja,
Yes,
mannequin
it's-
piece on you.
He came to me and asked if he could carry my case. I said, yes. Do, please.
In
Thank
Esperanto.
you. In Esperanto, yes.
And clearly he's been carrying your case ever since.
Ever since.
And your children, they speak Esperanto as well?
It was the first language they heard. They spoke Esperanto before they spoke English.
What's one of the good things about Esperanto then, Terry?
Being able to be with a lot of people from a lot of countries and being able to talk to them on equal terms, so that in fact one is often unaware of where they come from until you ask.
Yes, I have always talked about this. It's about protecting other languages, other national languages, with an truly international language. It's always changing because it depends on the people that come from all different countries. So it's an international culture. Because some people criticize Esperanto because when you learn a national language, you learn the culture of that language. And through Esperanto, which supposedly doesn't have a culture, but it does, we learned about the cultures of other countries. All of them, not just one of them.
Monato has a principle. If you're not born in that country, don't report its news. So you're born in that country and you report on local news. And in most cases, since its inception, I have been able to contact. I don't agree with the author. I've been able to contact the authors. But yeah, admittedly, there's a few 100,000 activists. When you're in a small community of a few 100,000, it's much more easy to contact your leadership and your intelligentsia. You could see that there's letters to the editor, and in most cases it's written where they're from. And they're probably talking about something in their own country. So I'm just want to make it very clear. Everybody who's writing in here, there probably are authors from 40 or 50 different countries writing about something that happened in their country. The English language newspapers are not based on that concept of having people who speak the language where the news originally occurred. It probably doesn't exist.
It's supposed to be an international language, so it is it's the international aspect that it is to be able to communicate with everybody, no matter what nationality you have.
It's part of social history. It's part of 20th century history. And it's a fascinating history, whether you're looking at the workers' Esperanto movement, or whether you're looking at its history of persecutions, of course, by fascism and Stalinism, the role of Esperanto in the Spanish Civil War, the role of Esperanto in the Soviet Union before the Soviet Esperantists were exterminated, sort of the heroism of mutual aid across national barriers, which is much national hostility. There's a romance to it, and there's an exciting history behind it. And I think that that's what gives me a thrill about it. I like the history. I like the dedication that people have had. Another way that people have tried to make this a better world.
A language that is fundamentally rational, similar to, you know, like a communist would imagine a society that's run on rational principles. This is what we as humans should be doing with our rationality. You know, we should be organizing our society in the best possible way, and we should be creating a means of communication that is the most useful and the most beautiful.
Pro mia venta furios, forvelcus ciu flor videla. Do restis mia vent sed blov, cae mia sono ciam hela. Sed nec hela nec fidela, floron aina arbo spronis. Sed floro ciu bel aspecta, sed fructa falsa ec burgionis.